gentlemen, it's InGame Live Prime Time on a terrific Tuesday. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, as we watch, analyze, and more importantly, bet on the world of sports. Ah, yes, it is a beautiful thing. Little NBA play-in game action. The West Coast actually goes first. Normally, it's the East Coast going first on everything, but the West Coast goes first. 2 games tonight, including the Lakers and New Orleans Pelicans, already underway. We got Major League Baseball. We got hockey. We got playoff spots to be won tonight. So we'll check that out. We got same-game parlays. We got coaches fired in the NHL. We got black clouds. We got it all, including Mr. Sharapan. What's going on, Dave? How are you tonight, bud?
Great to see you, Mr. Wetzel. We got a lot of things happening. I love this time of year because we're getting meaningful basketball games in the NBA. We're getting win or in or go home hockey games before the playoffs. We got baseball games that mean something to bettors every day. And we got all the stuff that you just listed. And it's my – I don't want to say it's my favorite time of year because I love October so much when the seasons start and the baseball playoffs are going on. But I'm all about these meaningful basketball and hockey games right now. I can't get enough of it.
All right, you ready for a question out of left field already? Start the show 3 minutes in.
I love when you do this.
I know it's going to be a surprise. Do you have to go to the bathroom right now, Dave?
No, I went before the show.
Just good. All right, good, because we have a PP coming up here. We got a public parlay coming up, and they owe us big time from last night. Last night's PP public parlay, Edmonton Oilers laying 6-1, by the way, Dave, and the LA Dodgers laying 4-1, went up in smoke, and somehow or another the Dodgers lost to the Washington Nationals with Glass now on the hill, right? Tonight's public parlay, tonight's PP.
Oh, no. What's he doing?
Everybody's on the Lakers. Everybody's on Golden State, except our producer, Pat, who actually went contrarian. He's been working with us too long, and he's on New Orleans, Sacramento. But, right, I couldn't find a soul who didn't think the Lakers were going to win tonight, and nobody thinks Golden State's going to get eliminated by Sacramento. I'm telling you right now, 2 minutes past the hour, one of those two teams is losing tonight, or at least not covering. Golden State's a 2.5 3-point spread. But I'm telling you, both of those teams are not covering tonight. No way. Just doesn't have the PP. We're going to keep track of this. I'm telling you, that thing has such a losing record. It's not even close. It's amazing how these public teams, one of the two, always find a way to lose. Who's it going to be tonight, Lakers or Golden State?
I'm still getting over the fact that the name of the parlay is the PP parlay. All right. I didn't see that in the rundown. Okay. That was good work by both you and Foster. That was great. Yeah. That's good. I like being surprised. I like surprises a lot. Although if my wife is watching, I don't like a lot of surprises like that. But anyhow, the public parlay, the prices are usually pretty bad. This is not really a bad price. Like you got the Lakers at a short price. This is one of those ones that I'm wondering about the circle of the people that you talk to, because there's a lot of people out west here in Vegas that like the Pelicans tonight because, I don't know. If you've seen the trends right there, they're 21-9 against the spread in their last 30 games following an against the spread loss. The under's got to be the play today, too, in that game. But the under is the play in a lot of the playoff games, okay? But, yes, because the conspiracy theorists, and I know you love a good conspiracy because you and I have done the shows for a long, long time now together. If the Lakers just lose tonight and then win the next game, they can avoid the Denver Nuggets. The winner of this game is going to play the Denver Nuggets. I don't know if that's an award or a kind of a jail sentence. I don't know. But I'm with you in that I totally dismiss that. If the Lakers want to play playoff basketball, they win the game tonight, they're in. They leave that question still open if they lose. Why would somebody think they're just going to go lay down in New Orleans tonight? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah. It's funny. I got 3 questions for you tonight. 1 in the NBA and then 2 in the NHL, which we'll get to here in a little while. But the NBA question is what you just brought up. Winner gets Denver in the first round. Do you avoid that? However, if you're the Lakers, though, Dave, right? And you took Denver, you did go to 6 games last year. You played them fairly tough, but they're 1-8 their last 9 games against Sacramento. If they don't face Sacramento, they're going to face Golden State with Steph Curry. I mean, who really wants to do that if you don't have to? So it's not like if they lose tonight, okay, we're automatically in. We avoid Denver, but we're facing a team we're 0-4 against Sacramento, 1-8 the last 9 meetings, and then, Steph Curry in an elimination game. Who wants to do that? So pick your poison, I suppose, right?
I would rather, if I was the Lakers, win tonight, get a couple days off, and go to Denver and say, look, we got to play them at some point if we're going to get to the Western Conference Finals or we're going to get to the NBA Finals, which should be the goal for every team at this point. We got to win a series that's in front of us and advance to the next series. We're trying to get to the end. To get to the end, you got to go through whoever's in front of you. I'd rather play Denver in the first round than in the third round after all the wear and tear, all the travel, all the other stuff. If I'm the Lakers, I'd much rather, if I got to face Denver at some point, which I think a lot of people are in agreement that Denver's going to be in the Western Conference Finals one way or the other, play them now. I think you got a better shot as the dog early than you do late after all the war of attrition, and that applies for the hockey too, especially for the hockey based on the hockey schedule, which is every other night. For the next 2 months, we get a ridiculous high-level physical hockey game where every shift means something. So same applies to basketball, in my opinion.
All right. Pelicans do lead. I'll give you that, 34-26 after one quarter. Lines up to 4.5. The over. I love the over. I still love the over. It's 227.5. It was 223.5, 224.5, depending on, where you do your shopping. But I still like the over in that game. I think you're going to hit 230 points easily. So that's a 4.5 right now is the number. The 2 hockey ones I'll throw at you. One include my Boston Bruins. Do the Bruins want to stay in this is the most intriguing one out of the 3, I think. Although that Laker one's pretty good. Do the Bruins want to win tonight and stay in the number 1 spot and play nemesis Tampa Bay in the first round? Or do they lose, allow themselves to fall into the number 2 spot and be perennial patsy for them anyway, Toronto in the first round?
Oh, I think the line will be very, very similar between the two. Now, history will dictate that the Leafs fall in the spring in Toronto. That's a line that I got from Cam and Gabe that I think is just hilarious. So the Bruins are going to beat the Leafs. They always beat the Leafs. That's what they do. I don't know. Is Tampa already getting the moniker of the team that nobody wants to play in the playoffs? So much so that the Bruins are going to go lay down against Ottawa tonight? I don't know. How do you lay down against Ottawa tonight? That doesn't even make sense to me.
No score, second period. 7 minutes in. Bruins didn't score last night against Washington. Well, they have about 15 shots on goal. We'll take a look at all the board when we come back. InGame Live PrimeTime.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year.
Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hovland right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. Like, I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120.
almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get them at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. In-game live, prime time here. Just getting underway. Hour number one. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next hour and 45 minutes or so. We got NBA, we got hockey, we got baseball, we got Cam Stewart coming up next hour. Joe Ranier will join us in about a half hour or so. We'll go through it all through with Joe and with Cam, obviously, over the next about the hour and 45 minutes or so. So we're talking little NBA. So we got the first game underway. We got a little hockey underway here, Dave, and we were talking Bruins. The other question I wanted to throw at you, not quite as goofy, but, and this is all pertaining to gambling in that you want to try and find which teams are motivated to play and which teams aren't. And you'd be surprised. So it all pertains to that. Does Vegas want to leapfrog L.A. and play Edmonton in the next round, or stay in the number 4 spot in the Pacific, but have to face Dallas in the first round? Again, they're not too much of a difference, but who really wants to face the Edmonton Oilers if you could avoid that? And they would with 2 losses.
I believe the numbers are as such, and the boys can check on this, or you can check on this, but I think the season series was for Vegas 1-3 against Edmonton, and I think it was 3-1 against Dallas. And a couple guys that I know that have Dallas futures are really hoping that they don't have to play Vegas in the first round. That's going to be a very difficult series, one that even the winner is going to come out worse for the wear. So, listen, if I'm Vegas, I'm happy I'm in the playoffs, but I want to get right tonight and tomorrow. It's Blackhawks Ducks minus 450 tonight. Who knows what that number is going to be tomorrow? I don't want any doubts going into the playoffs to defend their Stanley Cup championship. We don't need to go laying down and worrying about who we're playing. The NHL playoffs are the ultimate grind. You can get there from the 8th spot. I don't know if it's as true in the NBA. I think they win tonight. And the other side of the PP parlay yesterday, Edmonton closed at a ridiculous number. They won 9-2 over the Sharks, which, by the way, have caused you enough agita where you've involved Cam in a text thread in the middle of the night. I'm getting text that this Cam wakes up in the morning thinking about SJ Sharkey. This is a night where at least Edmonton took care of business yesterday. I think the Knights take care of business tonight.
Yeah. And from our standpoint, from a selfish standpoint, I would rather face the LA Kings than the Vegas Golden Knights, since we have Dallas, in our little three-team parlay, right? So wouldn't you rather face LA, which can be good at times, don't get me wrong, but, Vegas defending champs, and they got the ability with Hill back to really kind of turn it on, as we saw last year. So from that standpoint, we'd rather face LA, right?
Yes,
no?
probably perception-wise, but I'm just trying to think of the prices in my head, what the series price will be. It won't be that much different. I think, the hard part about pricing out the series is, one, knowing at the beginning, at least, everybody starts out healthy. Everybody starts out the same. You know who every team is going with as the number one goalie. I'd feel much better having that Dallas ticket, knowing we get the Kings first. I feel like that style of play lends itself much better to having a shorter series. All I want at this point with those futures parlays is less games. Let me play a 5-game series instead of a 7. Give me an opportunity for a sweep. Dallas and the Knights, 6 games minimum. There ain't no sweep involved in that. Dallas can come here and win. Vegas can go there and win. I feel like with the Kings, they'd have a hard time winning a game in Dallas, and I'm good with that.
All right. Eastern kind, and Dallas still needs Vancouver to lose one time to Calgary tonight to clinch the top spot, but they will. They're up by 3 somewhere along the line. All right. So Washington wins tonight in Philadelphia. They clinch. If they lose, Detroit can clinch. If they lose, then Philadelphia is still alive. So it's a little tricky scenario. So here's what we got going on so far. Love the Montreal outfit. I'm a little surprised, actually. I thought you'd be rooting for Detroit. Well, you can't because you're rooting for Pittsburgh. Yeah, never mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was dumb. So we got Montreal. Oh, Canadians just score again. I did love Montreal today. I gave that out to the boys on the podcast. There you go. Very nice.
Love the goal horn. Love the goal horn, boys. That's good news. Montreal, let's bleu, blanc, and rouge, la habitante. Just get us to tomorrow. Take care of these Red Wings tonight, although it won't matter because if Washington wins, I need the Flyers to win. This is not good.
They're down 1-0.
That's down 1-0. 14 minutes left in the second period. They're getting at least a good effort. That's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, Detroit fans know this is fun, right? You're breaking through. You're actually have an opportunity to make the playoffs again. They don't have I don't think they have a real shot at a playoff. Look at the numbers right there, 70-1 to win the Eastern Conference. And I don't think it's not even a bad number. Like, that's one of those ones that you go, they have a really bad goaltending situation. They play pond hockey a lot. There's a lot of open ice when they play. How are they going to put together 2 series to get to the Eastern Conference Finals? They're not. Not that I'm saying the Penguins aren't either, but I would like to see at least them have an opportunity tomorrow to do it. Washington's the X factor. I mean, the Penguins played their way out of it. It's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me. It might be nighttime in Pittsburgh for the Penguins. We won't even get to a meaningful game tomorrow against the Islanders. We'll have Kurtz on tomorrow. The game doesn't mean anything to the Islanders. The scenario was set up perfect, Wetzel. Get this one done tonight. And we got nothing to talk about, focus on tomorrow, except the Penguins beating the Islanders on the road, out on the island.
It's not over. You know who scored for Washington, right, tonight? Ovechkin.
Of course he did.
The guy is still good. He's
still doing it.
He's 5,000 years old, but boy, he is still good. It's amazing. Detroit just scored. Well, he's right around there anyway. Detroit scored. We're late on the goal horn. Unless it's being reviewed, but I did like Montreal. I watched the second half of the Detroit game yesterday. A great game to watch. Down 4-1, they rally. Yeah. The announcers going nuts. That was a lot of fun to watch. But I thought they used up too much energy. When you rally from 4-1 down, they acted like they won the Stanley Cup last night. I mean, they really did. So I thought they would lose tonight. Down 3-2. So that's good for you. We just got to get a goal out of Philadelphia. Getting Philadelphia 2-1. By the way, the Red Wings were over 2-1 favorites on the road. Just goes to show the noviceness, if you will, if that's a word, of amateur bettors, because they bet the Red Wings all the way through the roof because they figured, all right, the Red Wings have to win, so they're going to. One of the biggest mistakes I think Dave bettors make this team has to win. They need to win, so they're going to win. And it's like, they wouldn't be in this spot. They wouldn't be a couple of games out if they had that ability to just turn it on whenever they want to. So I like Portugal tonight.
I used to say it at the counter to people when they would come up and say, this team has to win. And I said, you're going to have to go make a deposit in your account afterward if you bet them, because more often than not, they don't win. We see it at the end of the season in the NFL. We see it at the end of the season in a lot of times in baseball. There's games, they have to win. I mean, it worked out okay last year for Texas, and they had to win the games they had to win to get in and beat Houston, and then they ended up winning the World Series. But it doesn't usually go that way. It usually goes the way you're talking about, where they overbet it because, sure, they're going to win. They want to be in the playoffs. Everybody wants to be in the playoffs. You're absolutely right. They wouldn't be in this spot having to win the last game of the season if they could do that before, or if they had won 2 more games during the regular season. By the way, the Lakers are leading now. How'd that happen? How'd that happen? Lakers are leading.
44-42.
Yeah, just like that.
Still high scoring game. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Lakers or Golden State are losing. There's just no way. There's just no way both those teams are winning.
All right.
But they're up 44-42. Now laying 1.5. Over under 226.5. All right, same game parlay actually coming up next.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hoffman right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Welcome back, InGame Live, Prime Time here on the Grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. Just underway, hour number one. We got hockey, we got NBA, we got baseball, we got black clouds, and we got same game parlay time. All right, we're going to use the second game, Dave, of this play-in doubleheader. We got Lakers and Pelicans going on right now. So second game is Sacramento and Golden State. I told you, and I'm not sure, words out of my mouth that rarely come out. Like, I don't know. But I'll say it tonight. I don't know which one of these two teams are going to lose, but one of them will. So I'm not going to fool around with who's going to win this game. What I am sure of, though, is we're going to get some points. Like we're going to get in this first game, we're going to get it in the second game as well. So we got 6 pieces. We'll start with the over 223 Golden State Sacramento. If you use this number for the regular season, in the 4 games, 3 of them would have gone over, basically way over, not even close. So over 223. We're going to get some points, so we might as well go with the De'Aaron Fox for Sacramento, their main guy, 25 points or more. You got to lay a little juice with that one, minus 350, but that's okay. We're going to go with Klay Thompson, 20 points or more, at only minus 105. He's been on a little bit of a tear, believe it or not. He's going into playoff form, so he'll get his 20 for sure. We'll use Draymond Green, right? There's a reason why this mope is on the club still, and this is it for the playoffs. So he's going to get 8 rebounds, minus 130. He's going to take the challenge of going up against Sabonis as just that. I'm pretty sure he's going to get 8 rebounds. We'll throw in a steal, 1 steal for Draymond. He's going to be in the face of everybody, minus 370. And then we'll use this Sabonis for 10 rebounds. The guy averages about 20. You have to lay minus 850, which is ridiculous. You would never do that in a straight bet, but bump the odds up another 100 points. Why not? Put them all together, Dave, and we're getting basically 8.5 to 1, 846 when I put it in this afternoon. What do you think?
I mean, you involved almost everybody on there. That was good. I like what you did. 6 pieces. Might be a little bit extra, but I don't know. Is it the Draymond one that gets you? Did you just call Draymond a mope? Did you actually say that this mope is the reason why he's there to get rebounds tonight? That's what he's going to do?
Well, he's on the team for the playoffs, right? I mean, otherwise they would have kicked his butt off, 2 years ago when he decided to beat up all his teammates, I mean, so, this is why he even has to take it as a challenge. Like, he even has to say, listen, there's a reason why I'm still on this team. I can do whatever I want the regular season, get as many technical fouls and alienate everybody, but come playoff time, I got to be Draymond Green. So I think we're going to get the best of Draymond tonight.
I'm glad you didn't pick a side in this because I really don't know. I think this is a harder game to me. This is going to be a closer game. If we could pick margin of victory between the play-in games, the other game, the Lakers and the Pelicans, is going to have a bigger margin of victory despite having a smaller spread, in my opinion, than this game. I think Kevin told me on Game Time Decisions 3 to 4 games between these two teams were decided by 1 point. 1 point? So we're going to have a close game. I like the total over. I'm with you there. I mean, how does Fox not get his point total? If he gets hurt, there's no way he don't get the point. I mean, he's going to get the shots. He's going to get the ball, and he's their guy. So, I mean, you got a couple ones that look like absolute layups in there. So this will be good. This will give us something to root for. But, again, on your train ride home and my dinner, watching this game.
How about the conspiracy angle, which I know a lot of people do bet, and believe you me, I do as well. How about especially if the Lakers lose tonight, and now you have the prospect of having New Orleans in, Dave, over the Lakers, and then maybe Sacramento in over the Lakers. You can live with Golden State. But does the NBA want to take a chance of having Oklahoma City versus New Orleans, or I guess it would be Sacramento, Oklahoma City versus Sacramento, and Denver versus New Orleans? I mean, nobody's watching that. Nobody.
Are you sure?
Then you throw in the injury to the Greek Freak, all the injuries to the Clippers. Just saying it's, that might be a reason to bet Golden State tonight if the Lakers lose.
I mean, if you're buying into those crazy theories, then maybe, but I don't know. at some point, some of these teams do get better. I mean, OKC's the number 1 seed. So are people going to watch it? They will if they want to watch good basketball. They're a good basketball team. Are they going to watch them more because, Golden State or the Lakers is the team that's playing them to win? Maybe. I don't know. I like, this is what happens. So every year in the book, we hear these discussions, we listen to the shows, and we go, what are they talking about? We just want more games. So I think we'll have long series with those teams in it. I'm okay with it. I really am. I don't need to see any more Lakers after tonight. We got a goal.
Ooh,
we got a goal.
Good news for you. Update from Philadelphia. Washington won. Flyers won. How about that?
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. All right. Another one. This is great. Who was that?
Do we now bet Detroit? Because now the Red Wings, no doubt they know, right? The scoreboard watching, I'm sure. Do we bet the Red Wings, plus 172 right now because they got a little juice? Oh, you know what? We're maybe still alive again. Philadelphia needs to win in order for Detroit to be alive. Might take a little flyer on the Red Wings, even though I thought they were going to lose.
I thought so too. That's why I got the Canadian stuff out. This will be the last time I get to wear this until the fall. It might be worth a play. It might be worth a play. Yeah. I still like Montreal before the game. I like the game over.
Me too.
So I could use some more goals there. Look, I'm happy we're getting a good effort from from Philadelphia against Washington. I was worried that this might be one of those games where they go, our chances of winning, we need help. We need more help. So, no, this is good. Let's keep this thing alive for another. The NHL regular season ends Thursday. So we keep hope alive. And Pittsburgh, it's funny because you can't even put up the overnight lines on that game. Like you've been doing a routine for 6 months, right? You put up the overnights now for tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't looked, but I don't even know what to make the overnight line because the overnight line is going to be vastly different for the Penguins and Islanders if the Penguins have no chance of playing. So these games are contingent on a lot of things.
And Islanders at home or Pittsburgh at home tomorrow?
Islanders at home.
Well, they're playing for
nothing to play for.
Nothing but nothing. You have any? Did you ever get into a fight with Patrick Waugh? Would he? I'm looking for an angle on why he would get his team fired up. Was there some brawl I forgot about between Pittsburgh and Montreal or Colorado that would get this guy incensed to have his team pumped up tomorrow night?
I don't know. I just flipped on the Montreal and Detroit game right now. You want to talk about Montreal's playing like this is a playoff game right now. This is great. They're out shooting Detroit. They're up 3-2, and they're on the power play. I'd love nothing more that before this segment ends to hear the goal horn because that would probably be a Montreal goal. So if you're looking to play Montreal, now's a good time. If you're going to play Detroit, do it now because if they kill this penalty, they get some momentum going into the third. Probably a good bet on Detroit in that spot.
Look at the two other games, right? You want to say teams don't, conspiracies and all this other stuff? Bruins down 2-0 at home to god-awful Ottawa. Florida says, no, you're not going to stick us with Tampa Bay. We don't want any in-state rivalry. No thanks. You know what? We're going to lose to Toronto. They're down 2-0 at home after 2 periods. So the two teams that need some points to be in the number 1 spot, and neither one, forget about winning, neither one has even scored tonight, Dave.
Right. Yeah, did you see Boban miss that free throw the other night for the chicken? Did you see that?
Yes.
I can easily shoot the puck and miss the net, but you're going to shoot.
Yes.
Like you could, maybe the Bruins are, I shot it wide again. I shot it wide. I missed it. You hit it. You can put it right on the guy's pads if you'd like. So I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying the Boban thing for the chicken promotion it brought up a lot of conversations, did it not? I mean,
Well,
he
you know
looked
why?
around and said, "Everybody want chicken?" Bam, off the back rim, done.
And you know what? Why people were talking about it? Maybe I'm sure you know the over/under. Depending on where when you put it in, but the over/under was 221. Him missing 2 free throws kept it an under. How'd you like to have the over in that game?
I would
that was
not
in the
be
fourth
happy
quarter. I
with
don't know how much time was left.
4
when
minutes.
It was in the fourth quarter. 4 minutes?
4 minutes left.
You're sitting on the over, and this guy's missing free throws on purpose? Really? See, that's the stuff, Dave, that when you bring gambling into it, that's the stuff where, someone's going to lose a lot, and the NBA is going to step in and say, you can't have these. You can't have any point incentive promotion. You want to give out the Chick-fil-A hamburgers or chicken burgers? Knock yourself out. But it can't be tied into anything that pertains to a point spread. And that did. That cost that game for going over.
Chicken sandwiches. No, there's no burgers at Chick-fil-A. It's all chicken. Come on. That's Chick-fil-A. Please, get it right.
Don't they have chicken burgers? You got to have chicken burgers, right?
I don't even know what a chicken burger is. What are you talking about?
My daughter doesn't eat meat, although she eats chicken. Don't ask why, but somehow that doesn't equate. She has chicken burgers all the time. Chick-fil-A, open your eyes.
Ranieri next.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hovland right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted. But here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
back in game live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for another hour, 20 minutes or so, talking some betting with baseball, basketball, NHL, you name it. We got it all. And our good buddy, Joe Ranieri, who you see all the time here on the grid, right now joins us for a couple of minutes, giving us his thoughts on the action. What's going on, Joe? How are you tonight?
Oh, that's good. You know, I turned the game on, and the Yankees are losing. That's wonderful. The Orioles remembered how to win a game. And then I really thought New Orleans was the right side here at home. And they were, Scotty, for about, the first quarter and maybe about 2 minutes of the second quarter. And then the wheels have fallen off here, the New Orleans Pelicans. So now they're down 10 at the break, and I'm debating on whether or not I come back in with the Lakers because maybe they run away with this thing, or do I double up here and come back in with New Orleans?
That's a good question. I don't know if you do either. I don't know, Joe. I don't know if you do either. I'm not used to seeing you in the middle box, but I really like it. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate you, sir. More importantly, whether you're worried about doing with the Lakers or the Pelicans, what about the next game? Because Wetzel's got some crazy same-game parlay with 6 pieces, and it didn't even involve the side. And I don't blame him because I don't know what the right side of this game is. Do you have an opinion, side or total tonight in Sacramento?
Yeah, I think it's actually, don't overthink it. It's the Warriors for me, and I don't think it's going to be even close here. I think it matters. Current form matters. Rolling into the playoffs, we see it year after year. There are teams that limp to the finish line, and they're usually bounced out rather quickly. And then there are those teams like, for instance, and I know this well, the Miami Heat, who had to kick it up a notch late in the season last year to be able to get into the play-in game. And then, of course, we all know what happened there. And let's face it, Golden State has been playing playoff basketball now since the All-Star break because they were, messing around early on in the season here. So they really had to kick it into overdrive after the All-Star game. And that's exactly what they did. So to me, one team is playing its best basketball and the other team just cannot wait for this season to be over.
How about the notion, Joe? I was telling Dave this. We have a PP, the public parlay. And although I must say, Dave said a lot of people he knew like New Orleans, and you just said you like New Orleans. But I think the casual basketball fan said, all right, it's LeBron, it's the Lakers, they're going to win. They just beat New Orleans the other day. Is it possible? I mean, we had UConn as a public team win the NCAA championship. We had Kansas City with Mahomes as a public team win the Super Bowl. And I know this is not an NBA championship by any stretch, but, how long does the public team continue to win? Because everybody's on seemingly the Lakers, and they're winning by 10, and everybody's going to be on Golden State, right? Nobody's taking Sacramento tonight. So any worries about that, as goofy as that may seem?
No, but I mean, to be honest, if they were truly a public thing, why isn't this number higher than one bucket? That's the interesting part here. So I do think there are some people backing Sacramento who absolutely think that Golden State is not the Golden State of old. I've heard that a lot, that they're not as good as we think they are. I guess we're going to find out here, but we're going to have public favorites throughout this NBA, because show me somebody betting against Denver or Boston in any series, in any game. Show me where there's going to be a number 1 seed that isn't a ridiculously overpriced favorite.
The only ones that do are the bad guys because your price is off. They're the only ones. I can tell you that firsthand. Ain't nobody coming to look and bet against either one of those teams, especially early on, first round, second round, for sure. Joe, look ahead to tomorrow. You're in Miami, and you just mentioned the Heat before. Do you see this number? Like, this is almost, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a baited number. Like, are we baiting people to take the Heat? Because I like the Sixers. I like the song. I do the other show with the other guy, the Philly guy. Yep. I like the Sixers, but I don't know if I like them at -5.
Yeah, so here's the problem. I want absolutely nothing to do with the Miami Heat right now because the number, as far as I'm concerned, is right. It's absolutely right. With Embiid on the court and what we have seen, this Philadelphia team with Embiid and especially Maxey, I don't even think Embiid's the big problem. I think Maxey's the big problem because Miami has not been able to stop him in any way, shape, or form in the games that they have played this season. That's a problem here. But the other situation we have is that, am I really going to run to the window and bet against Miami in the playoffs? Like, hell no. They did the same thing last year to us. I'm just going to do the wait and see with Miami in this game because they are overmatched in this one. They're not a good offensive team. They've been very inconsistent. But we've also seen in the past, what the hell does that mean when the playoffs come? It's the Miami Heat. So I am passing on this game, but I don't think the number is that far off from what it should be. Philadelphia, even without Embiid, has been a more consistent team than what Miami has all year long.
Yeah, and don't forget last year, folks, Miami in the same spot. Lost the first play-in game at home against Atlanta. Now, this one's on the road before they beat Chicago and then went on, obviously, that great run. So it is possible for them to lose. Speaking of Chicago, Joe, they host Atlanta. I mean, pick your poison. I got nothing but negative trends. Chicago did win the season series 2-1. Hawks, the worst team, bar none. Worse than Washington, worse than Detroit, worse than the Topeka High against the spread this year. 29-53. But the Bulls weren't great at home. So, 8-13 against the spread at home as a favorite. So I don't know where are we going with this one, Chicago laying 3 against Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. What is how much for the tie? Can we go with a tie? Is that a prop? Because they both blow. But, I mean, really, what are these teams? There's no Cinderella here, guys. This isn't FAU or Fairleigh Dickinson. There's no Cinderella here. This is a pumpkin with a bad rash. And, unfortunately, one of these two teams has to win in advance. So if I was going to play anybody, I thought Chicago, with nothing to play for, really impressed me in that last game against the Knicks and let you know where their frame of mind is at. There was no reason for them to make that kind of effort in that game. Lesser teams would have rolled over, but they took the Knicks to overtime. They had no intention of losing that game. I think that's good. I think Chicago would be the only way I'd look in this one.
I mean, Chicago is the only way to look in this one, Joe, because we got the headband out. Caruso props over.
Yes.
They're going to beat the Hawks. You talk about teams limping into the playoffs. The Hawks are the epitome of a team limping into the play-in tournament, whatever this thing is. Joe, you mentioned the Knicks. All right, we looked at some conference odds. They're the 2 seed, Joe. The Knicks are the 2 seed. Legitimate chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I got guys telling me that if the Sixers win tomorrow, the winner of the Knicks and the Sixers series is going to be the opponent for the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Agree or disagree with that statement?
Listen, the Knicks certainly could, but we also thought the Knicks could have made a pretty decent run last year, and then they couldn't score more than 80 points against the Cavs. So that went right out the window here. And listen, they are certainly built for the path that they have now as a number 2 seed. They are certainly built that they could be a big problem for some teams. I don't think they're a big problem for Boston one way or another, but as the number 2 seed, they really don't have to worry about that. Initially, I think their path is easier this year, but ultimately, congratulations, you won the battle, you're going to lose the war. But they could also shoot themselves in the foot, which they've been known to do, but I do think the NBA is better when the Knicks are relevant, so hopefully they hang in there for a little while.
Ultimately, though, will it be, how it worked out, for Celtic fans, as I pointed out in other shows, it really did work out well, right? I mean, all the teams that, if you want to make the case they don't want to face Miami, Milwaukee, the Knicks, Philadelphia, they're all on the other side of the bracket. Who's got a better chance in your eyes, Joe, of losing before they get to the finals, the Celtics or the Nuggets?
Oh, yikes. Well, the answer would have to be the Celtics because, how many rings do they have? Okay, exactly it. So this is a team, and we've said it all year long, Scotty, on all the shows. The three of us have said it a million times. The number one biggest threat to the Celtics is the Celtics. They are every year. It's not for a lack of talent. There's no reason for this team not to represent the East and play for a championship, but they have not done that. And by the way, you know it, I know it, Scotty. The longer this goes, the more pressure is going to be mounting on them not to do what they've done each and every year, which is eventually choke it out. So, Denver's been there, done that. I'm yet to see anybody truly appear to be, not even Boston when they've played a couple of times this year. Who the hell is beating them 4 out of 7? That's the problem.
Yeah. Yep.
The toughest opponent might be Atlanta.
That's a good point. That's good.
I'm sure they're rooting for
that's
Chicago.
A good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yes.
More than once. What are you guys talking about? Calm down.
No.
Look at the Western Conference playoff series, you two. All right. You got Minnesota playing Phoenix and Dallas playing the Clippers. These are both priced at really close odds. Like, this is one of those ones where I think, Joe, which one of those two series is the longer series? I think Dallas and the Clippers is going 7. I think that's a 7-game series automatic. Minnesota and Phoenix, I'm not sold as much. But do you think those are close competitive series, both of them, or one or the other not so much?
I think Minnesota and Phoenix is. I think the Clippers are hot ass. I don't think they're winning anything. I think they're going to get run out of the gym, period, by Dallas here. Dallas down the stretch, we've been saying it, playing their best basketball at the right time with a dude who should be the MVP is probably not going to be the MVP. The Clippers, might I use the word fraud? And without a healthy Kawhi Leonard, and I've said it all year long, a healthy Kawhi Leonard makes this team a contender. Not a healthy Kawhi Leonard makes this team a fraud, and that's exactly what they are against Dallas.
Yeah. Real quickly, thoughts on the dopey Dodgers losing last night. 4-1 favorites, Joe. 4-1 favorites, and they lose at home to stinking Washington. They're not going to lose 2 in a row, right? Should we lay 1.5 runs with them tonight?
No, I'm taking the money line on Washington because screw you, Ohtani. I know who you bet on tonight. I know who you got, Ohtani. I'm on Washington. That's right.
Good job, Joe. Yeah. 11-8. Yeah, let's see who Ohtani's betting on. Good job, Joe. We'll talk to you again soon. Have fun.
See you, Joseph.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hovland right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. Like, I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the Grid, closing out hour number one. Thanks again to Joe Ranieri, who you see all the time here on the Grid. Always fun talking with Joe. So we got to close out the hour with what we always do, the little black cloud action pertaining to baseball tonight. Yes. We just spoke about them, and I said I'm never going to do it ever again, Dave, but you know how long that lasts, about 10 seconds, because we're going right back out to Chavez Ravine, and we're going to go right back on those stinking LA Dodgers, and we're going to go right back on not quite a public parlay, but public thinking, that is for sure. I know we got some stiff Kyle Hurt, who's thrown literally less than 7 innings in his career in the majors on the hill for the Dodgers. And I know we got to lay a big number. I won't do that. I'll lay a 1.5. You got Patrick Corbin on the hill for the Nats. If he didn't have a contract with guaranteed money, he wouldn't be in baseball right now. And the public thinking is, right, there's no way in the world the Dodgers at home are going to lose 2 in a row to the worst team in the National League and maybe the worst team in all of baseball. So give me the Dodgers laying a 1.5, double the play. We'll make our money back from last night. Although we'd have to win about 4 times to win our money back from last night. But for now, Dodgers laying a 1.5.
This is the problem. All right. You try to get it all back. Listen, you lose a 4-1 shot. It's going to take 4 games to get back to even, right? So, we'll just lay the run line. That's the common theme. That's the common thinking. We'll just lay the run line tonight. We won't have to lay half the price because the Dodgers didn't take the time to name a starting pitcher. I mean, maybe they had to call Kyle Hurt up. They called him up from Oklahoma City. I swear, I think I saw him last week here in Vegas pitch. Oklahoma City was here. That's one of the fun things about going to the Aviator games. I get to see a lot of these people play before they come to the bigs. I don't know, Wetzel. You might be in trouble. The Dodgers may win this game 4-3. Then you're really going to be aggravated on the train ride.
Oh, then I will. Yeah. Patrick Corbin is 0-2 with an ERA over 8. I mean, he could make Topeka High's high school team. Dodgers win 4-3.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
right, welcome in. It's InGame Live Prime Time, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, watching and betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes, play-in game, second half just underway. Lakers and New Orleans Pelicans. We got the second game starting in about an hour and a half or so with Golden State and Sacramento. We got hockey keeping an eye on, playoff positions up for grabs tonight. Baseball, talking a little Dodgers. Cam Stewart will join us in about 40 minutes or so. We'll go over everything with him, including probably a little recap of the Masters. So why not? So, Dave, for the new viewers, new listeners, what are you keeping your eye on tonight?
Well, I mean, obviously, we started the show in the last hour with this PP parlay. So we're going to be watching
Yes.
that, the public teams. We got hockey going on, and Cam coming up later. And Cam wears his Toronto Maple Leafs heart right on his sleeve. And I really hope, oh no, it just happened again. The Florida Panthers were losing this game 2-0, and they have proceeded to score 3 unanswered goals, the third one just now. Florida leads Toronto 3-2. Cam's going to be glum. He's going to be sad because he knows that this means that they're going to have to play the Bruins. If the Panthers hold on and win, that means that, and Cam doesn't he likes all teams, but he really doesn't like the Bruins. So they've been the bane of his existence. 1-1, Capitals and Flyers. I'm rooting for the Flyers to win that game. Canadians, I'm wearing the stuff. We're up 3-2, 17 minutes left in the third. This keeps the Penguin playoff hopes alive. If the Canadians can win, the Flyers can win. The Penguins are in control of their own destiny. They beat the Islanders, and they're in. That's good. So that's the hockey situation. The baseball, did anything pique your interest? I'm watching Jared Jones pitch 5 innings for the Pirates. That game's going under. That one's looking good. It's 1-0 Pirates in the 7th. We got some baseball games that come up a little bit later. We were just talking about the Black Cloud play of the night. Do you feel better knowing that Hurt is only going to throw 45 pitches?
No, he's going to hurt my wallet. That Dodger bullpen stinks, right? I mean, I'd just as soon have an outfielder throw. And what if the dude does well, right? Well, you're going to pull him after 45 pitches because what? His arm's going to fall off if he goes, an extra inning or two with that Dodger bullpen?
No.
280 though, Dave. I mean, listen, I get it's Washington. I get that. So, but still, the fact that you have to lay 280, 260, 280 on a team that's got a pitcher who, is only going to go an inning or two at best, right? 3 innings tops. And who knows what's going to happen after that. And you're still being asked to lay 3-1. We debated it, right? Or at least discussed it anyway, at the beginning. Do you bet on the Dodgers every game or do you bet against the Dodgers? And we thought they'd win 100 to 105 games, which meant if you bet on them all the time, you'd win a couple of dollars versus betting against them. But they're 11-8. I mean, it's making it very difficult to stay with that system. I got to tell you, San Jose losing is helping this a little bit, but still, I hate to, have it come in one hand and throw it out the other with the other hand.
It's way more fun if you're betting on them in the quantity of tickets that you cash. You're going to win more than you're going to lose. But financially, it's going to be a rough go when you lose because you take a 4-1 shot. They're overpriced because they're the Dodgers. They're overpriced because of, they have the star power, at least in the lineup. But, I mean, pitching is baseball. You still need the pitching. And their relief pitching leaves a lot to be desired. When is the last time you saw a 9.5 for a total in Chavez Ravine in April? There hasn't been many totals this high. So that's I like to look at the number, and then when I see the number and I know, wow, that's absurd. I mean, that's an unbettable number. I don't know if it's enough if I want the Nationals. I don't know. It's definitely too much to be laying with the Dodgers with undecided. Like when I look at the lines in the morning, and I went 9.5. Wow, that's a high number. But this might be one of those games where the bullpens go because how many innings is Corbin going to go? Be lucky to get 5 out of him. They're going to let him pitch 3 times to that order. So, I don't know. Tough game. What about Cubs in Arizona? That was a really good baseball game last night. I looked at that today, and I can't wait to talk to Wetzel about that because that'll go off in about 35 minutes from now. And Diamondbacks Very small favorite. The total's 10. The total was 10. It was 3-2 last night in extras. A little high?
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't see that being a 10, right? Why would that be a 10? Hendricks hasn't pitched well for the Cubbies this year, but he's a pretty good pitcher. I tell you, I like this Cubs team. I really do. One thing I've noticed is with Arizona, now they're only 8-9, but still they are nationally defending champs. Like, the odds have not been very good on them. Like, the odds are basically low. It's almost like the boys in Vegas said, we don't care what they did in the postseason. They're the team, that finished in second place and barely made the playoffs. And if it's playing out that way, 8-9. But this Cubs team, with their lineup and their pitching, the young kid they got there from Japan is pitching lights out. It's not a bad little team. You're not getting great value, right? I mean, they're begging to take Arizona, Dave. Again, Hendricks has not pitched well this year. ERA over 12 at 2 starts. But he is a good pitcher. So I'll continue on betting on the Cubs, even at those small prices.
Yeah. Multiple goal horns need to be going off here, boys. Florida just scored again against Toronto. It's now 4-2. Thank you. And Detroit just tied it up against the Canadians. 3-2. It's now 3-3. Well, listen, we talked about it in the last hour. I mean, it was time to bet the Red Wings was right then. When they were down, you were getting them at a nice price. 13 and a half minutes to go. That was a crazy game last night. They had to win it in overtime. Can the Cardiac Kids do it again? Can the Red Wings do it again? They're going to win this hockey game. You got a complete opposite game. There hasn't been a goal scored in a while in Washington and Philly. There's a lot going on.
Imagine if that game ends up going to a shootout. Washington, Philadelphia. A playoff spot on the line with a shootout. For Washington, anyway. That would be something.
If it does, I'm betting Washington. If it does, I'm betting Washington. Yep. Yeah, they're going to win the shootout if they get to a shootout. They don't want it to go to a shootout, but Red Wings and Canadians obviously is going over. It's 3-3, 13 minutes to go. I think you can get bet over right now in that game. There's going to be multiple goals scored because you get an empty netter. There's a lot of things that could happen, but it's 7.5. I think 2 goals are going to be scored in that game.
I'm surprised it is only 7.5, right? I mean, we've had a ton of goals. Yeah. I mean, no reason for the team to go into a shell. I would be over the 7.5, definitely. And then maybe under 3.5. Now they got a 3.5. It was 4.5 a moment ago with Philadelphia and Washington, but I wouldn't use 3.5 since it's already 1-1. All right, quick break, then back to all the scores. We'll check out the NBA next as well here on the Grid.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly is your starter. He's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hovland right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. Like, I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Ooh, Washington had a chance there. Good thing they didn't score. All right, welcome back in-game live, prime time here on the Grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. I know we got NBA play-in, but, Dave and I are big hockey fans, so he's got the Detroit game on. I got the Washington game on, and we're rooting in the Pittsburgh Penguins as they're – yeah, Penguins, thank you. As they need two things to happen tonight, even though they're off. We'll get it all together here. So, all right, so NBA, we will touch on that, though, obviously, Dave. Real quickly, Lakers starting to pull away. You know what this means? I'm telling you. Lakers by 14 midway through the third quarter, 75-61. 11.5 is your total. Is your number. 214.5 is the total. So I wouldn't bet Sacramento right now. I'd wait for this thing to get into the fourth quarter. But I'm telling you, Lakers and Golden State are not both covering. It's not happening. It just isn't happening. But Lakers are starting to flex their muscles.
You know who thinks like you right now? Who thinks like that? The producers. The producers of the show put together a tremendous graphic, 1. And 2, they just went money line. They don't even want the points.
Wow.
The boys in the back said, "The hell with this. We don't need your stinking points." They said, "That's it. We're good. Give us the Sacramento Kings." I went old school. I got the Kings hat here for the boys. I love this logo. One of my favorites, and it kind of matched tonight with the Canadians gear. But I can see what you're saying. I see what the boys are saying. You got to take down. You got to slay the dragon tonight, fellas. You're just going to take down Golden State. This is how it ends in the play-in game as the 10 seed in Sacramento. We're lighting the beam tonight, Wetzel. Is it that easy?
It's not. It's amazing. If you look at the difference between the two conferences, the number 10 seed in the West, Golden State, 10 games over 500.
Yeah.
The number 10 seed in the East, Chicago, 10 games, or Atlanta, 10 games under 500.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 20-game swing, right? I mean, how crazy is that? Now, normally I'd be okay with taking the money line on these things. What's the difference? A couple points money line, right? Take the odds. But I wouldn't do it tonight. I really wouldn't, even if you like Sacramento, because Sacramento against Golden State this year, you said it before, final 124, 123, 102, 101, and then 134, 133. 3 of the 4 games were decided by 1 point. Now you can get 3.5. I mean, there's nothing worse than grabbing a team on the money line and having it lose by 1 or 2, and you would have covered 2.5 points. Although now it's down to 3, but I saw 3.5 a moment ago, so it must be going back and forth from 3.5 on FanDuel. I would take the 3, Dave, if you like Sacramento. I wouldn't fool around with the money line just because of these 3 close games.
I have it painted 3 all over the world. My odds screen, it's a 3 at every single place. You said you like the total over. I agree with you. I think so the difference in the games, now both games, so the Lakers in New Orleans closed 224 and a half, and it's on a 214 pace. This closed a point less. I think this game goes over. I like the first game under. The elimination game thing is real. I think just the way it plays out, and especially if this is a close game, this doesn't what happens this time of year is a lot of people just blindly bet the unders because they go, these guys are going to care more, they're going to play defense more, they're going to let them play, the referees aren't going to call as many fouls. But this is an elimination game. This is like a game 7 of a normal playoff series. So I don't know. I like over. My first lean is to Sacramento plus the points, but my first lean was on a home team with New Orleans too. So that looks like it's dead wrong. The Pelicans are going to have to play another game to get in the dance and get in the tournament. But I'm excited to watch this game. This will be a fun basketball game. I think, you got all those props on that same game parlay. I think you're going to get points, you're going to get rebounds, you're going to get all that stuff. I hope you just get enough to get the total over.
Yeah. The trends say under. I will tell you that. Strong unders. Sacramento, 16-5 under, last 21 games, including 10-3 at home. Golden State, 15-6 under, last 21 road games, including 14-7 as a road favorite, as they are here. I will say Golden State's 15-6 against the spread last 21 road games overall, just against the spread. So why would I go under, though? Golden State 24-17 under on the road, because 3 out of the 4 matchups this year went way over. So if you would have used this number. So they've had high-scoring affairs for whatever reason. All the other games, strong unders, but when these two teams get together, maybe it's the California thing, I don't know, proximity. But they've been high scoring, so I'm going to use that, and I just think both teams are going to come out flying. Remember, Sacramento lost last year, Game 7 against Golden State, really good series. Again, that's why if you were going to take the points, I would take the 3, not fool around with, getting a couple of extra dollars. Unless you're $1,000 better, who cares? If you bet $100, you win 100 versus 134. I'd rather win 100 and be satisfied knowing I could win or lose the game, but still win the bet. So, but I do think we're going to get some points. Teams split their 2 series, each one on the road. So when Golden State can win in Sacramento, there'd probably be just as many Sacramento fans or Golden State fans in Sacramento. So I wouldn't worry about that either. But it's a big good game.
Yeah,
I just don't think they both public teams, we'll say, are going to win, Lakers and Golden State.
Yeah, this will be good. Hold on for 1 second. I have to change hats again. Because we need the goal horn, boys. If you can crank it up. Montreal Canadiens. The dream is still alive. What a goal by the Bleu Blanc and Rouge. They tried to put up 7.5. We got 7 minutes left to get another goal. We told you to bet the over 5 minutes ago. Paying attention, this one may work out okay. I think we're going to get another goal. Don't be surprised if it's Detroit. We could have 2 games go to a shootout to decide whether you go to the playoffs or not. This is great. This is one of those fun nights where I'm glad we're doing the show. I'm glad we got the boys keeping an eye on us. And hopefully we got a lot of people watching all over the place. This is fun. I love it. Good goal by Montreal.
And I will tell you, Philadelphia, Washington on FanDuel is locked up. Now, in hockey, that doesn't always mean a goal. That could be like a penalty, but something is going on. I got the game on, but I'm about a minute behind, so we'll keep an eye on that game. I saw the Red Wing goal. The goaltender had no shot. He was screened in front.
Couldn't
so
see it.
Cares.
Couldn't see it.
Can't stop you can't see, right? As the saying goes.
Can't call penalty 1-1. Is there a penalty in the Flyers game? We can't call penalty 1-1 with 10 minutes to go in the third. You could commit a felony on the ice.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's no penalties. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything going on.
Come on. Nope, it's locked. Okay, I don't have nothing. It's open. It's good. It looks good.
It's good.
We're back up. Okay. Bruins scored a goal. They're down 2-1.
I don't know if that's good or bad. What do we got?
Either.
Was that the Bruin one? Bruins score, 4 minutes left. I don't want them to win. I don't want to face Tampa Bay. I really don't want to.
Why?
And the other thing is, Tampa Bay could beat Florida, so that would be good. You know, if I'm going to face Tampa Bay, let me at least have let it be in the second round, right? So I'll deal with that in the second round. It is what it is, but it's the first round stuff. And the Bruins would still have home ice advantage over Tampa Bay. I don't want to have to face Tampa Bay and Florida. That's what I don't want to do.
Listen, you couldn't beat Florida last year. Boston couldn't beat Florida last year. Florida went to the Stanley Cup Finals as the 8th seed. Worry about winning one series this year, Bruins. Why are you going to win one series at a time?
One at a time, boys. One at a time.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hovland right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. Like, I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. 25 past the hour. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, watching some NBAs. The Lakers making a mockery of the play-in game, although it's not over. Still, Lakers up. Make a little bit of a run here. The Pels not giving up down only 8 now. I saw them down by as many as at least 14, so it's down to 8. Still LA laying 6.5 as a 1-point dog to start. Points not quite as much as I had hoped. We got 159, 58 points, and the over-under is at 214.5. Big game for LeBron. But I tell you what, they offered up a triple-double on him before when he got up to a slow start. I was like that close to maybe playing it, but he's got 19 points. He has how many rebounds, LeBron? They got it locked out. They don't have him on the first page? Really? How dopey is that?
What do you need? LeBron rebounds? He's got 5
rebounds.
5 rebounds, 7 assists.
7 assists. So,
right.
A few rebounds shy of a triple-double. I think he'll get 3 more assists. But anyway, you can't get that. Fatso Zion Williamson, Mr. Twinkie, he's got 10 rebounds. So he actually lost a little weight, I noticed, Dave. I got to give him some. I'll give him some props here.
Looks good.
He looks. I wouldn't say good. Let's not stretch it. Don't give him that many props. But he looks better. He does look better than what we've seen him before. Maybe they closed the Twinkie shop by his house. I'm not sure. This team really should be better than what it is. They really. No, listen. They finished over 10 games over 500. I get that, but they got a lot of decent players on this team. Western Conference is so darn tough, but
it is.
He's got 31 points. It is.
The difference
right?
between the West and the East
10 games over
is palpable.
Yeah. I mean,
10 games over for the 10 seed, 10 games under for the 10 seed in the East. You got to learn how to lose.
And they're young teams too.
Right. I was going to say, you got to learn how to lose before you know how to win in anything, in life, in general, let alone in playoffs for professional sports. You see it all the time. Goes for the gambling too. A lot of people are gambling experts. They never gambled that much before. They have no idea how to lose. If anybody gets started, get on a hot streak, and then they bet the Dodgers minus 400, and they go, oh, no, what do I do? Well, you figure out something else, or you take a day off or whatever. So it goes and flows. Speaking of going and flowing, the Mets are now leading 3-1 against my Pirates. They just can't figure out this 6th and 7th inning. It's just not working. I don't know. It's frustrating. Congratulations, Mets. I'm hoping that they blow it, but the Mets are probably going to win again. Did I see something
by the way, on the Pirates?
What?
If you want to take a flyer on that bottom of the 8th inning, they're down 2 runs, 3-1, but still.
Don't do it.
16-1's not bad.
I know you can't resist a good price. I know you can't.
I
know. So we're going to have Cam on later. I'm going through the list of things here, and I see this thing about this Black Cloud President's Cup. What did you come up with this? What is this? What do you have here?
Well, not that I want to give Ranger fans any hope, right? So, but that said, all I've heard over the last couple of days pertaining to the President's Cup, you don't want to win the President's Cup. You never win the Stanley Cup. You never win the Stanley Cup. Last time it happened, it was the Blackhawks in the COVID year or the shortened season, whatever it was for COVID, I guess it was. I forget, whatever it was. And I said, you know what? I got to look this up. I always say that, right? So I looked up how many times teams with the best record in the 4 major sports went on to win the championship. So they start officially, quote unquote, naming it the President's Cup in 85-86. So 8 times in the last, 39 years, the team with the best, the most points won the Stanley Cup. And everyone says that never happens. That's so few times. So I looked it up, Dave. Since 85-86, baseball, the team with the best record won the World Series 8 times.
8.
8. Same as hockey. And no one talks about, the team in, baseball, you don't want to finish with the best record. You never win the World Series, right? Well, that's happened just as many times in baseball as it has in hockey. Football, it has happened 13 times, but that's a little deceiving because all those teams were tied for the best record with either 1 or 2 or 3 other teams. So it's a little deceiving. NBA does happen a lot, 15 times. You have the best record in the NBA since 85-86. You won 15 times. But those are the Jordan years. Those are the Laker years with Magic, the Celtics. There were some really, really good teams, and that's when teams cared about winning even in the regular season. But that said, 15 times. So the point is, it's not that rare that the team in hockey with the most points wins the Stanley Cup. It's right on pace with all the other sports.
That's fine, but there's no trophy that awards the regular season winner.
Well, you got to rain on my
sports.
parade. I spent hours and hours and hours looking up every single champ, and you got to just kill it in one sentence, just like
you did a great job. That's a great job by you to come up with that, because that was going to be my follow-up question. I thought the NBA would have the most times that the best team wins, or the team with the most wins it. I think it's even more random now in baseball. The way the baseball playoffs are set up, I think the team with the most wins is going to have the hardest time winning the championship, right along with the NHL. It is really difficult. They say the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win in sports. I think that's the case. But that whatever that they're calling the Commissioner's Trophy is now for baseball is a really 1A. That's why I love those prices on exactas and, teams to get the matchups. I think there's value on that. It's really hard to price from a book perspective. So we got an empty net. We got an empty net in Montreal, just so you guys know. Stay ready, because we might need that. We might need that goal horn to get it clinched. It's 4-3 with 27 seconds to go. So the one-legged of parlay can get there. If the Canadians can hold on here, win this thing, then we'll go right to the Capitals and the Flyers. And can you imagine they're going to get a playoff spot with a shootout or an overtime at least? Right?
That would be something.
Right?
Stay
ready.
They just missed the empty netter. They just missed the empty netter. I'm behind you a little bit, but they had a shot. They did have a shot with it. Evans, whoever that is, missed it for Montreal.
Okay.
I saw Wetzel miss one last night.
Happens.
They ended up getting one anyway, but
it happens. I've missed empty netters, not too often that I miss them, but it happens. Puck bounces, comes off your stick the wrong way. Senators win 3-1. Is that final?
Wow.
That's it. The Bruins lost.
That's it.
You got your wish.
Yep.
Well,
so and Florida's up 4-2 after. This is after 2. That can't be after 2. I think they started the same time Boston did. Did they not?
Maybe they started later. Started a little bit later. Yeah, they're behind. Yeah.
All right. So Florida leads. So if they win, then they would have 110 points and leapfrog Boston.
Wow.
And that would be that, because I think the Bruins are done with the season. So Boston would be the number 2 seed and take on Toronto. Which, the good news, bad news is, they do beat Toronto, but, one of these times Toronto's going to, step up and take care of it, right? I mean, that's – but I'm okay with it.
There's no one better to ask than Cam. Cam's coming on next. Yeah. That's perfect. We could just ask him, how does he feel about playing the Bruins? And then just sit back and let him go. We'll get our answer directly from the horse's mouth. That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
What are the Lakers doing right now? I got to hit refresh. 89-80. 9 minutes to go.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
What? What happened?
Put the Montreal game on. Where's the sound?
No. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened? No. I moved it. What?
Oh, my goodness. How the
what
heck?
happened?
7
They're lining up
seconds.
a face-off with 7 seconds to go. What happened? I didn't see it yet.
What? They're saying no goal? No.
Hold on.
Detroit
Everybody
scored.
Breathe. Hold on.
But I don't know why they would call that off. 3 seconds left.
I'm watching it right now, boys. I'm behind you. There's the face-off.
Yeah, how are you behind me? I'm about a minute and a half behind life.
That's a goal.
Wow.
That is a goal. That's a good goal. Red Wings just tied it with 3 seconds left.
Oh, my
goodness. 2 tie games. Third period. To decide your playoff lives. The Red Wings are going to win. This is unbelievable.
7 seconds left.
Blue, Blanc, and Rouge, all you had to do was win the face-off.
Just win the face-off. Just win the face-off. Fall down. Just fall down on the puck in the face-off. You don't even have to win.
How did you not see that shot? Come on.
Oh, my goodness, that is awful. That is just brutal. Oh, that Montreal just, what a joke after last night. And now this. Oh.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hovland right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. Like, I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, plus 120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at plus 260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Boy, it's gone outside of our next guest coming up, which is always good news. It's gone from bad to worse for Dave. Poor Dave. He needs Montreal to beat Detroit. They're leading 4-3 with 7 seconds left on a faceoff. Somehow or another, they're tied. And it needs Philadelphia to beat Washington. And unfortunately, the Capitals scored with 2 minutes left. Timeouts. Philadelphia was buzzing, but we're keeping an eye on that. So let's welcome in our good buddy Cam Stewart, big hockey guy, big Maple Leafs fan. Not sure if he's happy or sad as his Maple Leafs trailed Florida. It looks like they're going to face Florida in the first round, or Boston rather, in the first round. Things hold up, Cam. But what's going on, my friend? How are you tonight?
I love you, Scott. You know what? I don't care who they play. I don't care.
There you go.
This is what I'm talking about. Lowered expectations. Date below your league. Don't worry about it. I walk in, everybody's talking Leafs are going to get swept by Florida. I go to pick up my Masters pool monies despite having Aberg, Scheffler won. So anyway, I'm talking to some people. Leafs are going to get swept. This is perfect. Exactly what I want. idiots at the local establishment thinking these guys have no chance to win. When it's the same people year after year saying they're going to the Stanley Cup, Dave. I love lowered expectations because you know what? If they lose, whatever. And if they win, it's gravy. But I'll tell you, they had a lead in that game, and all of a sudden they just gave it away. Major concerns with the defense and major concerns with goaltending, but we don't live in that. We don't live in the past. From the voice of Gabe Morency, we got things to think about tonight and games going on. Dave, don't worry. I'm on Montreal as well, plus 1.5 in money line. We're going to get this one for you and me. Let's rock.
I hope you're right. I mean, I got the over, so that's good. We talked about the in-game over in a segment before it got there with that goal. The good thing about if the Leafs lose, then you can focus on the baseball and the Blue Jays, and hopefully they're going to be able to hold on tonight. We'll get to the baseball in a second. I don't want to get confused. Did you see the line on the Golden Knights tonight against the Blackhawks? The Golden Knights play the Blackhawks tonight, and then they play the Ducks tomorrow. I have no idea yet what to even think the line's going to be tomorrow if the Knights win tonight. But the Knights are going to win tonight, right, Cam? I mean, this is a blowout. This is what Edmonton did to San Jose last night type of number, no?
Oh, did I tell you the San Jose story? Amazing, Dave. No. You're going to love this one. I get on the air with Morency, Sharks plus 5.5, Sharks plus 6.5. Then I go, enough is enough. Sharks plus 7.5, Sharks plus 8.5, got it all back and made money. Smashed it.
Wow.
You took 7.5 in a hockey game.
You're damn right I did. I can't stop. I couldn't stop. I'm sick. And I'm going to tell you something. I just kept on clicking the Sharks. Goal, Edmonton. Goal. I'm like, whoa. Thank God I took it late, Dave, and smashed it. It was on the Wild too. But man, I got a problem. Like I don't even know. Like I need help. I should actually go to like a meeting. Like I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, the Sharks, worst team in the league, came through at plus 425. That was the smartest bet I've ever made, I think.
Yes.
On the show. So that worked out well. And Dave and Scott, listen to this one. I got Arizona Coyotes over 75.5 points. They're at 75. I need 1 point versus Edmonton tomorrow night. Hey, McDavid, all you guys, Draisaitl, all right, Hyman, take a walk. Let Arizona win. You're going to the playoffs, and Bob's your uncle. Everybody's happy. Wetzel, because the Sharks aren't playing tonight, I got some more losers for you. You guys ready out there in TV and radio land? Let's roll.
Fire away.
Baseball. I am going to take the Oakland A's. I don't care what anybody says. Plus 130 against the St. Louis Cardinals. Who's pitching? Sears, the defunct department store? Yeah, Sears Roebuck. Hey, I bought my bed from Sears 20 years ago, and it's a winner. Still great. Double king. And I'll take the Cincinnati Reds against the Seattle Mariners as my baseball picks. Tonight, I talked to Pat. We're on Golden State. I'm a little bit worried about that game. We'll see that one. We're going to play it live, but I don't know many people that are on Sacramento there. Over in Vancouver and Calgary. And you're right, Dave. And I have the Knights in multiple parlays and on the puck line. Run line. See, baseball's back. Puck line. Thank you.
Okay.
You cashed your under San Jose ticket. Did you play that when we gave it to you 3 weeks ago?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes. Under total points. You were right. Good for you, Wetzel. I remember I almost got you off that. I'm like, they can win some games. I'm glad. Just don't listen to me. I had the Sharks at the start of the year, and then they're brutal. Then they won those games. But, man, the Sharks are like a relationship. We've had a lot of ups and downs. More downs than ups, though. That's the problem. I need more ups with SJ Sharkey. I've been a very loyal supporter, and I expect better from them. But I'll tell you tonight, guys, I don't know what's going to happen. All I know, the Calgary Flames, I watch this team play. They're my brother's team. They're playing shinny hockey out there. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. They're done. So I'm kind of thinking maybe they get 4. Vancouver gets like 6. I'm expecting like a really high scoring game tonight. Over. I found a 6. I like the over in that game and the Knights. So that's what I'm doing there. Is there anything else that we're missing? Let's take a look. Golf is tomorrow.
Well, we got a couple things I wanted to mention because the boys did an unbelievable job with the graphics, first and foremost. You said you hadn't heard anybody on the Sacramento Kings tonight. Well, the producers have a pick tonight, and they went money line. They said, we don't even need the points, guys. We're picking the Kings on the money line. There it is right there. They did a great job with that. You want to talk about the graphics stuff.
I like that.
But The Black Cloud play of the night is tonight, and it's on the Dodgers on the run line because Wetzel didn't get enough punishment last night laying $4 with Glasnow. He said, let me get this opener guy Hurt, whose last name is Hurt. He's not Hurt,
he's hurt,
but his last name is. Yeah, he's throwing 45 pitches is what my stuff from MLB says he's going to throw. He's on a pitch count. You got Corbin on the other side, Cam. What do you do with this baseball game other than maybe bet over 9.5?
Over. Wetzel, I'm with you. I'll join you in the tornado cloud at the Black Cloud. I think it's going to be Dodgers tonight. I'm on it. I'm on the over. See, that was Gabe last night. My stories are kind of different because he's chasing the Dodgers and I'm chasing the Sharks. But we're chasing something. That's what I'm telling you. So, but tonight we're on the Dodgers. I think they get it done, and I do agree with Wetzel's dark cloud. Let's make it real dark and spooky and scary. Give me the Dodgers tonight, even though I like underdogs. I expect them to pound Washington tonight. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. I took my dad out for breakfast, been running around all over town. I'm absolutely beat down. But I will say this, the games so far have gone good in hockey, and if Montreal wins, that'll give me the energy to get through the shows. Let's roll.
I wanted to ask you real quick. Let me jump in here, Wetzel, real quick. I just wanted to ask Cam about the Masters and what your takeaway was from Scheffler being just ridiculous, robotic, professional, all of the above. He doesn't make mistakes. He had that thing on cruise control. The drama was taken away on the back nine. Nobody was catching him. I know you had Oberg, but what did you take away from even – and we're not asking for any golf picks yet. You'll have those tomorrow for us. But, what do you do the next week after the Masters? You were spread out all over the board with a lot of good prop bets.
It's funny. My two biggest bets, though, I had Scheffler top 5 that cashed and Schauffele top 10. I smashed those. I had Schauffele to win, though, too. So that didn't happen, and he had a horrible first round. Here's the deal, Dave. People aren't thinking. This guy just won the Masters. I know he's a robot. His wife is going to pop any minute. He said if she's pregnant, he's leaving. If the guy was going to leave Augusta, he'll definitely be leaving Harbor Town. If you want to bet on Scheffler this week, that's a dangerous proposition. I will take a matchup bet against him this week, and I pray he hits a shot. I was praying to Gambler. I'm like, please, when he was on 15, can you, Scotty Scheffler's wife, give birth now? Get this guy off the course and give the tournament to Aberg so I can pay for my trip to New York. It's going to happen this week, though, fellas. Be careful. If you're betting Scotty, his wife is due. And as for Scheffler, Dave, me and Morency talked about it on the show. When other guys take doubles, he just takes bogeys at worst. He knows how to manage a golf course. He hits it 30 yards from the pin, doesn't do dumb stuff. Also, a friend of the Lord, a friend of his wife, and everybody else. Golf to him is a game, where other guys like Rory, they look at it obsessively, and look what it's done to them. It's destroyed them. Scheffler has many other aspects to his life, and I think that really helps him with his mental game. It's whatever. I'll win a tournament. Who cares? He has a perfect mindset for it. Perfect mindset not to get rattled. That's the thing. Take a look at the guys who can't get there or the guys that have lost it. Golf is their only thing. There's no wife. There's no kids. There's no hobbies. It's golf. And Scheffler's the complete opposite. So when you look at a guy like that, be very... That's the dangerous guy, because if he doesn't win a golf tournament, you see, Dave, you see his demeanor. The guy's his pulse. He could be eaten by gators, and he's like,
it's unbelievable.
I'll find a way to get out of this situation. He is never rattled. He is never scared. He is never freaks out when he's in trouble. He takes his medicine.
He's 27.
He's
27 years old. He might as well be 42.
Dave, I used to bet this guy every week when he was 40-1. Second. And then when he won, everything changed. A switch hit in his head, and now he doesn't lose. I would actually argue that Scotty Scheffler, to me, right now, is more impressive than Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. And golf fans are going to slow down, Cam. No, I've been watching golf, and I worked at a golf course since I was six years old. So just hear me out. The level of competition now, in my opinion, is much better. Jack had to beat a couple guys, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, Tom Kite, whatever. There was 10, 15 guys. Now every week there's 60 guys. And I know Tiger did it in dramatic fashion. He is still the best. I'm not saying Scheffler's better than Nicklaus or Woods, but what he's doing right now with today's modern athlete, to me, is more impressive. And if you can call me wrong, that is my opinion. And I watch every damn shot of every damn golf tournament, women's, Hooters Tour, European Tour, mini tours, and I'm telling you, nobody does it like Scheffler. quietly without he's unbelievable. Like I've never seen a guy I have panic attacks and stuff, Dave. Like this guy has no stress. Like I would love to be Scotty Scheffler. I tell you, I'd be a hell of a lot healthier.
I will say
about
this.
anything. Yes.
I will say this. Two things. One, Detroit just wanted a shootout, Dave. So with Philadelphia losing, at least it eases the pain here a little bit.
Capitals won anyway. Capitals won 2-1. It's fine.
What a joke, Dave. We were winning every game tonight. This is what I hate about gambling. I literally got on the show 5 minutes ago, winning. Okay. Now I got to go through this crap again. Anyway, it's still a plus night, but I need a lot of plus nights. I told Foster.
You got anything on the Lakers?
New York's
They're down
expensive.
to They're tied with New Orleans, Cam.
I got
95,
New Orleans
95.
live. I got New Orleans when they were down a million. I'm on the Pelicans live when they're down tons. So that's fine. You know what? I'm going to ride these producers' picks now. I think the Sacramento Kings, you guys have sold me, and I'm an easy guy to sell. Like door-to-door salesman or Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm your guy. I'll let you come in my house and talk to me. Whatever you're selling, I'm buying. I'm on the Kings now. Too many people are on Golden State. I'm done. Give me the Oakland A's tonight in baseball. Yeah, thank you, Scott. We think the same way, which is totally insane. So I'll see you at the meeting as well. Thank you.
Yes. Everybody's betting Golden State. How are the Warriors going to get eliminated by the Queens? Right? No way. It's not happening. It's going to happen. Although,
it could happen.
If the Lakers lose, which is now a possibility, then it opens the door for Golden State to win.
That's true. What do you got, Dave?
Cam, early look at the play-ins in the Eastern Conference tomorrow. We were comparing the two, how, Golden State's 10 games over 500, and the play-in games tomorrow involving a team in the Atlanta Hawks who are 10 games under 500. At Chicago, that's the second game. We got Heat, Sixers in the first game with the biggest spread of all the games.
I love the Heat.
Early look. Who do you like?
The Heat. I love them. Money line +5. I got +5 on my book, and the juice is only -105. Give me the Heat. The Bulls and Hawks. What's up with that line? When you make the Bulls bigger favorites than 3? I got to dig deeper into that.
Why is it only 3?
That's the first thing I look. It's not our first rodeo, Dave. We've been betting a long time. I thought that line would be 5. 3 seems very light to me. But I will be betting the Miami Heat. I can tell you that's a guarantee. I will fade the Sixers
came
all
on
day
and said
and
he
all night.
wanted nothing to do with the Miami Heat. He thinks they are going to lose this game and then win the game against the winner of that second game. And he said they're going to compete with the Celtics. He actually said they're going to compete with the Celtics.
Actually, I agree with him. I think the Miami Heat are dangerous. I watched that game closely against the Raptors. They're a different team now. They're pretty deep. They got some guys who can get it done. I wouldn't sleep on the Heat. I think people are underestimating them. I don't think they're going to the finals, but I think they can go upset some teams. That's my opinion.
Cam, great job as always.
Love you.
Watch Cam top of the hour with Gabe. Appreciate it, bud.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year. Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, -400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Victor Hoffman right now can probably hit it right where he's looking on the range. But the problem is when you get out to a golf course, especially like Augusta National, it's a big, big picture. You can see every shot in the world, but the targets are really, really small.
I feel like whoever we pick is going to win. I feel like we have the power to choose the winner of this tournament.
I know. I'm surprised more guys haven't reached out.
And they might, and they probably will.
Only on SportsGrid.
89-87, 0.6 seconds remaining. Big drama here in this game. Always frustrating when your Final Four parlay and bracket gets busted, but here we go. I'm done.
Look what he is now. He's on FanDuel, +120. Almost even money to win the tournament. So you actually, if you did get him at +260, you got a pretty good, better investment than you had before. Just saying.
Sports Rage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, PrimeTime, wrapping up shop here. Again, thanks to Cam Stewart for joining us, as he always does, Tuesdays and Wednesdays here on the grid as he takes over with the Gabe Morency, top of the hour. So, NBA, Dave, one last check of that. 101.99 I have, just over a minute left. Lakers on top. They're up by at least by 14 late in the third quarter, but the Pels have come back. Zion with 40 points. Can't blame him if they end up losing this game. So 101.99. We got the hockey. We got a bunch of hockey games starting. I got to go with Vegas. I'm going to lay the goal and a half and drop that 4-1 down to a modest like 130 or so. But what are some late plays that you like?
Well, I think the baseball game goes over, though it's 9.5. I mean, you maybe wait and hope they get through the first inning or two and get it lower. I mean, I'd rather go over 7.5 than 9.5 in Chavez Ravine, but the Dodgers are probably going to score some runs against Corbin. Dinger Tuesday here on the network. Walsh has Freddie Freeman later. I thought maybe pick a right-hander in the lineup tonight. Maybe Mookie Betts did a home run. Somebody in the Dodgers hitting a home run tonight. Somebody's getting them for sure, taking Corbin deep. Sweating this Pelicans and Lakers, this is going to be all the way down to the end, it looks like, although the Lakers just hit a huge basket. We're going to get to work on the Lakers and Nuggets series price if they win. I don't know what to make it. I mean, this is going to be one of those ones that the Nuggets are going to be challenged in the first series of the playoffs, which they haven't been for a while. So if the Lakers win, you said it. It's that they're both not going to win. The PP parlay, we're going to have to go with the producer's pick, the Sacramento Kings. I think that's the play of the night, right?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to it. You could also put a PP in on Vegas, laying 4-1 against the Blackhawks and the Dodgers. You can throw the Sacramento in there as well. So it'll be interesting.
I'll see you.
Yeah,
we got stuff to talk about. No more Penguins stuff.
No more Penguins, sadly.